that she did not have a driver's license, I tried to prepare myself mentally for how our lives would change. Would I stay or go back with her? I felt helpless while I waited at the footsteps of my school. I couldn't even reach out to my teacher, who was sitting a few feet from me, because he had no idea I was undocumented. Every minute that went by, I felt myself becoming paralyzed with hopelessness. With a matter of seconds, I had gone from being a 14-year-old waiting to be picked up from school to a 14-year-old having to make a painstaking decision. In those long hours, as I waited to hear back about my mom, I made up my mind. I would leave the home I had grown to love if my mom was forced to leave it. I should not have had to decide between my mom and my home. In fact, no child should have to decide between their parent and their home. Yet thousands of kids have to feel the pain every single day because of racist, abusive, and dehumanizing laws. So I stand here today because I don't want anybody to feel like they don't have a voice. I know what that feels like. I will not let my struggles, my dreams, and my existence be pushed aside or used in the name of politics. My life is not a political token. As a human being, I have a right to be happy. We all do. I invite you to stand up and fight with me for the justice we deserve. The government can attempt to take away our rights, but it cannot take away our will to fight. I am not backing down. I define myself. My name is Hexad. I'm undocumented, unafraid, and unapologetic.
My name is Manuel Cordova. I am undocumented. Growing up in Mexico, all I remember were my parents arguing. One day, my mother took me upstairs hoping to shield me from the violence, but I heard everything. She could not hide the bruises all over her face that I saw the day after. She could not take it anymore. She told me that we were going on a trip. Without me knowing, she took me to the United States hoping to provide us with a better life. In the United States, the challenges never ended. My mom had to work 12-hour shifts and I barely got to see her. Despite this harsh reality, we were all thankful we had each other. One summer before my first semester at UIC, I was driving to my girlfriend's house. Suddenly, I heard the dreaded sound of the police pulling me over. For the first time in my life, I felt helpless. As my heart raced, thoughts began to bombard my mind. What would happen to me? Would I be deported? Who would honor all the sacrifices of my mother? Thankfully, the only cost that came was out of my mother's pocket, but the fear still lingered. During my first semester at UIC, I witnessed my first protest. All my life, I had been told to hide my status and to be ashamed of myself. Instead, these students were willing to sacrifice everything so that students like me could have a future, so that we could have a chance at life. I knew I had to take part in the movement. I would no longer live in the shadows. Instead, I was ready to fight. I look forward to the day where I can finally be able to apply to medical school, where I can finally drive my girlfriend to school rather than always having to rely on her, where I can freely travel the world and for the first time visit my family in Mexico, so that in the future I can serve as a doctor saving lives. I know that the struggles ahead are only going to continue to get worse, but I will not give up. I will continue to fight for my education, my family, my community, and for my rights as a human being. I define myself. My name is Manuel Cordova. I am undocumented, unafraid, and unapologetic.